Boom, hello and welcome to the Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast, Season 2.
With your host, Byron Rodgers. This podcast is dedicated to the executive protection practitioner, the private security professional. In this podcast, we're going to talk about the mental, emotional, psychological, physiological fitness that goes into being an efficient and effective executive protection agent. Whether you're in law enforcement, whether you're a mom that's looking at how to protect her children, or a father that's focused on how to protect his family, I believe this podcast has something for all of you. We might even get into some tales from the crypts of true Hollywood stories from time to time. I'm doing this podcast because I feel the reality of this job is simple. If you really want to be good at executive protection, it's more than just a job. It really is a lifestyle. And those of you who've been in the game for any serious amount of time, you already know what I'm saying is true. So if that sounds interesting to you, enjoy the show. Out.
Yep. Boom! What's up, you guys? Byron Rodgers here for another episode of Executive Protection Lifestyle Podcast. I'm really excited about this episode. It's been a long time coming. I'm ridiculously proud, actually, to even be part of what and who you're going to meet on this episode and the conversation we're going to have. So it's going to be good, man. I've got Richard Stadig with me. How you doing, brother?
I'm really good. Thanks for happening. Thanks for getting me on the show today. I'm really excited.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah. I'm glad. It's awesome, man. I should say, our relationship started online, Why don't you talk about how you and I even connected, man, in the first place?
Yeah, definitely. So basically, this is about a year ago. I had just finished about a year of a lot of course training, going to a lot of shooting schools, some security schools, all that fun stuff that a lot of people do in, gun culture 2.0.
Sexy stuff.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. And one of my instructors, Ian Steinbeck from Rue Nation, was on your podcast. So
yeah, he's cool.
I was actually looking up before one of his courses, his stuff, and then you came up, and that's where it started. And from there, I had just pretty much left a career field that I was a failure in life. It really was. I didn't do that well, and I had more of a desire to be more of a protector and go back to my roots. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But so I wanted to get in the private security game, and I hit you up on Instagram, and that's how the relationship started.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And you've come a ridiculously long way. You're leading your company and industry in your area in a number of different ways as a result of your hard work and your vision for yourself and strategic relationships you've been able to make and different things you've done, and for me to be any part of any of that is an honor. So what you guys are listening to, basically I like to interview all the cool guys at the top of the game as often as possible, but I also like to listen and interview folks who are coming up in the game to get that perspective. What's it really like out there in the game? What's it really like on the fresh come up? You've been grinding the last 3-4 years and you just came up in the game. What's it like? Because some of us, my reality for the last 5 years is different than my reality when I was 21 and trying to survive in the EP game. So just to get them different perspectives, man, sometimes I hit up industry leaders that are at different places in their journey to help us understand what the executive protection lifestyle is all about. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to talk about here with Richard, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Awesome. Yeah, it really is an honor to be out here. There's that saying, train until your idols become your rivals. Now, over the last year or so, 2 years, I've been with Craig Douglas, Ian Steinbeck, Yosef Badu doing his courses right now, EPI, John Musser, so many people that have been on this podcast, right? They're not my rivals yet. I'm coming for them.
You're coming, right? It stays hungry.
Yeah, but just to be on the same platform as them is really, truly an honor. Amin Tobin as well, been a mentor, so all those people.
Awesome, man. No, that's great. Those are moments in your development where it's man, did that just happen? You know what I mean? It's wow, it's and really being able to have a conversation about what it takes to create that reality, to make that switch is really what I want to try to get out of this, because I was talking today in one of my Instagram videos, man, like people hold themselves back by what they believe.
Yep.
And it's a really, really serious problem. You know what I mean? Because like you won't outperform what you believe. And you will literally spend your entire life thinking you don't like something that would make you feel so alive if you could achieve it, just because you don't believe you can achieve it, not because you wouldn't like it. You'll be talking yourself out of it because you just don't believe you can achieve it. You'll do it for your whole lifetime, So, yeah, I mean, people like it. So what would you say about that, man, in terms of seeing your reality go from what it was into what it is now?
Definitely. The Man in the Arena by Theodore Roosevelt?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites, man.
Yeah. So, it's better to be, somebody pretty much that fails than being one of those cold and quiet souls that knows neither victory or defeat. And that's really what it came down for me is, real quickly, like my background was I at a young age, I moved to Israel. I served in the Israeli Defense Forces. I was a lone soldier. I learned Hebrew, did all that sort of stuff. I lived in Israel for close to seven or 8 years. And I moved back about 2 years ago, right? As a freshly college graduate, older in life. I think I was like 28, married. And I got into this American workforce, right? And I found that the void to still be a protector and do a profession that was honest, where I believe that I was helping people every single day, was not being filled. And popping into the private security game, man, it was such a challenge because it was like, am I just going to be a guard sitting outside of a mall for the rest of my life? Is this it? But I know I don't want to sell food for the rest of my life or go down the corporate struggle. And yeah, there's so many times where I was thinking, man, should I just give up on this stuff and just, punch away at the desk? But at my core, I wasn't made for it. So I really had to go for it. And that was a struggle. Definitely was.
That's so painful when at your core, you're supposed to be this other thing, but functionally you sometimes have to do these other things. And it's like you're the dang circle trying to fit yourself in the square spot. It's painful. And sometimes you have to do it because it feeds to an end, like you're trying to get somewhere. But
that means
I totally understand. You're like the lion in the circus, man.
Yeah, you're literally a lion in the circus who just wants to go out. He wants to be a warrior of light, But he's just chilling, and it's just it's not human.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, no, I'm glad you made that decision, man. So, at your core, who are you, brother?
So I don't have any siblings, but I am my brother's keeper. And that's for anyone I protect, anyone that works with me, under me, above me. In the military, I was a light machine gunner, so I put down that fire. I'm keeping my squad moving forward, man.
Heck yeah.
That's what I am. Right now, I'm a facilitator. I bring knowledge to people. I don't put out the knowledge because I'm not the best at everything, right? But I make sure they get the best knowledge that I can give them. So I am my brother's keeper.
Man, I like that. I like that.
Yep. Got it on my chest for like a second
really?
Tattoo. Yeah, man. Horrible tattoo. I think I paid it was apprentice tattoo.
Oh, so, yeah. God bless you.
Yeah, so it's like, how much you got in your pocket? I had like $4, and that was, it happens because I can't charge.
Oh man,
like 10 years ago, man. I know.
Yeah, was it like when you're in the military? We all have our like scars. Like, I had some tattoos I had to redo from my military time.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I dig that though, man. Being your brother's keeper, that's good, man. And I guess I'd have to say I'm a lot like that too, man. Like taking, you're only as powerful as the amount of people you can take responsibility for and impact and really truly impact. Mm-hmm. I mean, like power can be used for anything. It's a tool. But when it comes to like people that really do good, like who have power with the right heart, I find that you end up realizing that power is for service. And so some of us try to get that power in order to serve. Some of us get that power in order to take. I think that's the difference. So it's good to hear you say that you're your brother's keeper. That's ultra important. How'd you get into, so you kind of explained how you got into the private security game and like, you just were like, man, I want to get back into protection.
Yeah. Pretty much that's how it started. I mean, it's been a hell of a long journey. I had the opportunity to do a lot of training from a relationship that I had with a family that wasn't necessarily for security. It was for security consulting.
Mm-hmm.
And for over a year, I pretty much listened to you, and I worked hard, and I built relationships with the right people.
Awesome.
And that's how I got in the game.
You're like, that's pretty much how the thing worked.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Definitely.
And thanks for, I'm honored to even have been a part of that. What role would you say relationships have played in your development? I mean, a few of the things you mentioned touched on relationships.
Relationships are everything.
Mm.
You say it, you've said, it's better to take relationships over money every single time. And that's such a testament, understanding how to treat people, how to talk to people, maintain relationship, having that social IQ is so important in this game, right? You're going to talk to somebody, you're going to go ahead and work for somebody and be their protector. You might as well as make sure that they know that you've got them, that you act yourself accordingly, right? That you be a professional. It's key. And also being loyal to people that give you something, paying back to them. That's profoundly important in this game, in all games in life.
Yeah. Without that reciprocation, the relationship has a tendency to die, like anything. It's healthy. This is the way it is because it's healthy design.
Yeah, stagnancy is death. So the relationship has to be back and forth. That has to be moving with people.
Yeah, 100%. No, I love that. What would you say about your tactical background? Anything you want to, where you come from? Well, you mentioned the Israel, but stretch your legs out a little bit.
Let's talk about Israel a little bit, right? Let's go down that road. All right.
I love Israel, by the way. I've got another trip coming up this year, and I'm so pumped.
And make sure you let me know before you go. I know you got all the hookups in the world, but I'm going to hook you up with some of the best falafel in Tel Aviv. So
okay, I got a couple buddies that have that claim, so we'll see.
I know that's shawarma, that's a big, we'll see.
Yes, yeah.
I'm my brother's keeper, man. That includes falafel and shawarma. Like,
okay. I love it, man. I can't wait.
Definitely. So I come from a tribe of lone soldiers. Now, what lone soldiers are every year. Thousands of Jews from around the world, right? They move to Israel. They make aliyah, which means to become an Israeli citizen, or some of them just volunteer for the Israeli Defense Forces. These are people that literally sometimes speak no Hebrew. I spoke 3 words when I moved there. I knew how to say hello, bottle, and dog. That was it. That's awesome. It's such a huge part of the culture that they in the military. They even have a basic training that tries to teach you Hebrew. Like you spend 3 months trying to learn Hebrew before you go off to your unit and such.
Uh-huh.
And so at 20 years old, I decided I was going to make the move to Israel, and I was going to serve in the IDF.
From where?
From Portland, Oregon.
Yes.
Good old Portland, Oregon, man.
Yes, man.
I think I'm one of maybe 5 in the last 10 years that have done it. Maybe a few more since then. Yeah,
do you have to be Israeli to do this?
Nope. There's Jews from one Jewish grandparent. If you were, I know. I'm making you an honorary. I'm working on it.
Oh, that'd be the biggest, awesomest thing ever to me, man. I'm just telling you. I'm trying to find my angle, bro. I love Israel. It's my place.
The way it works is if you were Jewish enough to be killed by the Nazis with one Jewish grandparent, you're Jewish enough to live in Israel.
Outstanding.
That's just the way it was kind of built there. So you're still thinking what?
Yeah, I'm still the hamster's running right now. We're gonna figure some way to get in there.
Right. So I went through that. I served in the infantry over there. Light machine gunner, as we touched upon.
Heck yeah.
Everywhere from the Egyptian border to parts of the West Bank. A lot of work, but it was an outstanding service. Some great people. Really, really good folks. So after that, I moved back to America. Did not work out too well. I worked in a gun store after a few different jobs and said, you know what? I want a little bit more in my life. Went back to Israel. Started doing the reserves over there. So I continued my tactical training as a college student. So went to college, did the reserves, lived in Israeli, which I think is a tactical background. Because just being an Israeli, man, and I mean, like, I remember just going for my runs in Israel, right? And I would hear, boom, a car crash. In America, people stop, take out their phone. Israel, you got grandmas running towards it. You got everybody in the street running towards it. Not just being an Israeli. We run to the face of danger because we help each other out. That's how it is. So that's the tactical background right there. Yeah,
it's
it is.
A country the size of New Jersey, surrounded by people who want to kill them.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I love it. I love it, though. I love it. Like this whole protector nation thing that I'm doing. I'm really trying to get America to become more like Israel. It's really what it is.
Exactly.
I'm like,
good
guys,
people dangerous. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you know, willing, capable, prepared. Good people more dangerous. Like bad things happen, they're gonna. But if we're able to do things about it, like the whole population over there that's militarily trained, things just, you don't have 14 people getting shot, 20 some odd people getting shot by one terrorist or one incident. He pops out with a gun or a knife, shoots 1 or 2 people, and then that's it. Because everyone shoots him.
Or, hey, to be fair, I mean, terrorists have been taken down by those pizza trays.
Yeah.
Man took one down, right?
Yeah.
Selfie sticks have been used, umbrellas, nunchucks. Like the Israeli people will just run to the face of danger.
And get down. Yeah.
They'll get down, everyone. 100%. So anyways, that's where I like to put my core tactical background as being an Israeli.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man.
So anyways, I moved back to America, freshly married, out of college, no real work experience, and had some opportunities.
But love in your heart, though. Love in your heart.
You gotta have it. You have to have it in this life, man. What is life without heart? It's boring. It's boring and it's dull. So I moved back to America.
But it ain't enough.
Yeah. Luck, relationship,
intelligence,
that social IQ, all that sort of stuff, man. Damn, it does take a lot. But I moved back to America, man. I had the opportunity from a family that was thinking of having a detail in the future, pretty much put me through the ringer the training. So that was everything from Craig Douglas, from ShivWorks, all of his knife fighting courses right there.
Man, I can't wait to train with him.
He's such a gentleman.
Now he's going to be at the Protector Symposium this year. Message!
Another reason to get to the Protector Symposium, because I'll tell you, man, that man is not just a warrior poet, like actually true, not some other person. He's actually a warrior poet. He's a gentleman to the core.
I love it.
Every time I see him, I'm like, I've only seen him once, but I've asked him multiple times if he'll sign some adoption papers. He has not taken me up on that offer, but I kind of want my dad.
Working on him. Yeah.
I'm working on it.
We had him on a couple episodes ago, man. He's an intellectual too. Just his lexicon, like the terms he's using while I'm talking with him. I'm like, man, I don't have conversations with people that really communicate this way.
Right.
It was very impressive, man. I cannot wait to train with him, and I cannot wait to unleash his content on this. It's just an honor. It's an honor to even be able to even work with these types of people.
I'm surprised there's not more of him out there. Like he is so intellectual, how he speaks and how he breaks things down,
and his experience. He's like, he's like, I created a course for fighting people in the front seat because when I'm working undercover, like that's what I had to do. I had to get in life-altering confrontations inside the front seat, and it's like. Yeah. To me, what he teaches is like the Formula One of personal protection. When your enemy is on top of you and you're entangled with your enemy, the margin for error, all those different things, it just doesn't exist anymore. No. Like when you have 5 feet, 10 feet, and you're in a gunfight and you're running around a car, like, okay, that's one thing. But when you guys are smelling each other's breath and there's sweat dripping in your eyes and you're bleeding on each other every time you inflict a wound on another person, yo, this is Formula One. You're moving at light speed. You got to get it done. So I really respect his discipline, man. I can't wait to study it more this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's all good. I could ramble about it. Like, I'm not going to, but I'll continue on. Anyway, Craig Douglas, Cogworks, Chris Costa had the opportunity to go to EPI, which was because of you. You gave me that idea to do the Providing Executive Protection course.
Yes.
At EPI, which was great. So yeah, I logged about, 150, 200 hours of training the last 2 years, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really been my background, because we all know from the military, like it's a different world once you get into concealed carry and pistol work. You don't have a fire team with you when you're the sole protector. Different world. So completely I went through that ringer. So that's
Awesome.
been my training background.
Heck yeah. No, I dig it. And I love the investment on the private side of things, man. I needed it a lot as a young Marine. I didn't realize it, because I got straight onto a private security detail. So I was like, yo, we're figuring this trash out, but once I started getting to some of these trainings and seeing what's out there, I've been really, really blessed by that. Yo, how was EPI? And, like we got to do that class together. It was cool training with you.
It was.
It was really cool because then I got to I felt like I got to imprint a lot more on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
And that was valuable. But go ahead.
I mean, this was definitely before the Executive Protection Training Day program. This was like the beta of it. I guess this was like the one-on-one work.
Yes.
Which
I can't. Real quick, just so you guys are in the loop. Richard reached out to me, hit me up on Patreon. I have a thing on Patreon where I will mentor someone one-on-one. And he was the first guy to take me up on it. So now we're talking and I'm, helping him sharpen his game, get in the security industry. And then he's like, yo, let's go to let's go to EPI. So I'm like,
you're like, let's go to
EPI. And then I'm like, yo, bro, can you do this? Because this would be good. And he meets me there and we get to train together. So anyways, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I remember Byron was working on this program while we were in school there. He's like, we're going to have this training day coming out pretty soon. Training Day is my favorite movie. All this sort of stuff. And you're all about it. I learned you were not some dude from Instagram. How often does that happen? That some dude on Instagram that you follow for Patreon for either a booty pic, some bullshit or other things that's actually real and help your life, right? So we met up in fucking Winchester, Virginia. Mm-hmm. First time I've ever been to the South or wherever you call that place. Yes. And that was great. I mean, I've been through a lot of courses in my life from military training, civilian side, and EPI was so consistent with the schedule and the intensity level, which was at a point where you could learn. I was always waiting for the ninjas to come out. There's no ninjas.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to be like, stress monster, now. Clanging stuff together. Do you advance? You know what I mean? No.
Exactly.
No, we're just going to teach you how to do this. We're going to make sure you understand it. That's all. And I was like, this must be a police thing. These guys must not be military guys.
yeah, definitely. They all were So it was like, all right. But it was great because it was so comprehensive. And I'll tell you, I think, I had my first celebrity detail a few weeks before that, right? And I was just like, oh my gosh, all the things I did wrong. I wish I went to school 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. But it was great. Everything from the work on the advanced to the intro to learning what you got to learn in driving. The etiquette was really important, how much they stressed the etiquette and how to talk to people, build relationships, the business side of things. Very well structured course with really good people. Really enjoyed it.
What would you say? So describe your first celebrity EP detail. Describe the feelings. Just I want people to get the feels because I talk about in the training day program all the time. Everybody's so BA, everybody's so tight. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna protect this celebrity. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, till it happens. Yeah. It's a whole nother. Anyways. What was that like for you?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, you learned that the celebrity also has handlers, and those are the hardest people that you're going to be dealing with, too. Because not only are they going to go ahead and, have their demands and their wants, but they're also going to try and lowball you every single time as well. Yeah. For everything you got. But you know what, man? It's really luck of the draw. Working with celebrities is, you go out there, you think you're going to be like the the transporter, right? You got your nice clothes on, stuff like that. So you show up.
It's so true. It's so good.
You got your nice blazer on. You got your fresh haircut the day before. You're like, hey, Barbara, I got a big thing going on tomorrow. I gotta look fresh. Yeah. And you show up, but you didn't check what the dress code is, what people are dressing like. So all of a sudden, you look like
this is real.
This is real shit right here. You look like some Mr. Gucci man dressed up in your suit or whoever that is, and it's Portland, fucking Oregon. People are wearing flannel and your principal is wearing sweatpants.
Yep, I was about to say there's some sweats in there somewhere.
There's definitely sweats, right? And you got to deal with it. And you realize pretty on they're people just like everybody else, right? It really is the luck of the draw. But it's really important though to understand you're not their buddy. Like you're not. This is work. You got to be on your ball the entire time. To their needs, and they could change in a second. One minute you're going to be waiting for 5 minutes, 4 fucking hours you're going to be waiting at a hotel.
Yeah.
And you have to be flexible, and you have to be flexible with bearing. That's really important. Is maintain. Oh yeah, we're moving. Cool. That's awesome.
Flexible with bearing. Oh yeah, I love that.
You like that? Yeah, that's pretty good, right? You got to hold that because you don't want to show that you're scrambling to find that donut place or anything like that. Like,
Yep.
That's it.
And you're trying, it's like being on a date. You're selling it, man. And you're calm, you're cool. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Of course. No worries. I'll be here if you need anything. But you're like a duck. On the outside, you're like this. Underneath, you're like, mother. And you're just figuring it out, And that's a lot of it.
And, bring cash. That's really important. Bring cash, man. Because when the agent says, go pick up 12 dozen of our artisan donuts from, this place in Portland, right? They give you,
the specialist, most nicest special place.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that one place.
Those donuts are $6 a piece, man. You want 2 dozen? Like, you're not going to be like, well, I don't really have enough.
Nobody cares.
No one cares, man. Except your valet guys. They'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
Super important. Those relationships, treating people with respect.
How did you feel? How did you feel when? And this is the stuff I talk about in training day, man.
I know.
How did you? The royal court dealing with that handler? That's a whole science. Yo, how did you feel the first time you met or came in contact with your celebrity?
Oh well, I was blessed. I didn't really know who he was, even though he was an Oscar winner until 2 days before, and he was a real person, man.
Yeah, he was
a real super chill.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. There's been worse. We've dealt with other people that, not horrible people. They're not. They're good people. They have a different lifestyle than we do and different mindset than we do.
Yeah, different outlook, different behavior.
And, you wear the wrong shoes, you're gone. The wrong outfit.
Exactly. What's this guy with me with these shoes on? I can't have this guy with me with these shoes on. You know what I mean? Put him in the back or get rid of him. Yeah, I never want to see that. They literally will say, goodbye. What kind of guy wears shoes like this when he comes and you're done?
That's it. And even handlers will see a person like that and like you're not, even though if you're just watching a door, you can't get past that door. He can't, that's a wrong shoe brand, man. We're working with this company. That's also important to understand sponsorships, understand that sort of the business side of things.
Do your research before going, man.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I love it.
Yeah.
Because it's everybody, you want to be the man until you got to be the man. And then, you're on the spot and it can be nerve-wracking. It can be so nerve-wracking. Even if you have everything prepared, it still can be nerve-wracking. In fact, you should feel a healthy level of anxiety almost anytime you're working one-on-one with your client. I think it keeps you sharp. You should never, in my opinion, for me, I never want to get so comfortable working this job that I'm just like, all right, cool. It's another day. Like I can get into a flow towards like, yo, this is what I do. Like, this is what I do. Boom, we're in the car, we're rolling. Like, and I'm in my flow, like almost like I'm back in Iraq or I'm just doing what I'm doing. But I never want to lose that edge, like that need to be on edge. You know what I'm saying? Hope that makes sense. Completely. How has COVID-19 affected your game?
It's reworked the game completely. How hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Well, so I've been very blessed that I progressed a lot over the last year. So I don't work in the field primarily as much as I used to. Awesome. I'm the training development director for Black Wolf Protection Group, which is Portland, Oregon's premier private security company. We do everything. Everything. We do everything from workplace violence prevention, site work, private investigations. We have PIs and staff, threat analysis work, executive protection, all that sort of stuff, right? Yeah, and our motto really is to destroy the warm body approach to security. I'm sure we'll talk about later. It's just the warm body approach to security. You heard about that?
This? No. Break this down for your boy real quick.
Okay, so the warm body, right? So you look at people that are supposed to protect us, right? Some large corporation. Yeah, you get a warm body, man. They stick them outside the mall. Stick them in within the barrier of the circles of your detail, right? Like that's completely fine. pay the minimum wage. They'll definitely protect you. And we're completely against that. We're about 90% of our workforce are veterans, and we're about paying our wages fairly to our people that are working for us, giving them the training and the opportunities to develop their career, to actually, like you're saying, to make like good protectors out there. That's what we do. That's actually what we do.
Okay. So training and all that stuff is big for you guys.
Training is huge for us. Having the foresight to see something like COVID, right? And say, well, we should probably order some rubbing alcohol, and we should have some plans to make hand sanitizer and get some masks ready, and then put out, before everybody else talked about it, social distancing measures and saying, hey, 6 feet. There's a lot of things that happen 6 feet, not just someone trying to kill you, but, also this COVID. So putting that out there, really, really important. So we did do that. And with COVID, man, I mean, first of all, the event year done, the event season's done. So that is a huge financial loss in the game, right?
Yeah.
We do a lot of work with Portland, Oregon. If you Google it, we have quite a few
festivals and events.
Festivals, but also there's some shoe manufacturers that are very big.
Okay.
That are based out of here. Have athletes and that sort of stuff. A lot of events that was, taken down for the remaining time. So it led us to do more site work, right? The essential businesses, because there's crimes on the rise right now. People are getting broken into. The cops aren't responding to all the calls. So that's changed the game a lot too. Transition from doing event work, site work, your strong years of EP time, to property, basic security. That's all gone, in fact.
Wow, almost like more policing type work. Not actually being police, but
protecting property.
Wow.
That static security, right? Yeah, so that's happening. But being flexible with Barry, man. Like, this was our event time during the spring and through the summer. That's not happening. We just, orient and direct fire in a different position to go ahead and be successful, keep the paychecks rolling, and continue to succeed at what we do.
Protect the workforce. Yeah, same with me, man. My private clients have been like, yo, let's beef up the residential side. I'm like, done. It's like movement team's shilling. Movement team is shilling right now. But the residential side is just getting built up and fortified, and standing up teams here, standing up teams there. So I've seen that same shift as well. Protecting a piece of property is becoming even more important. When we started talking, where were you in that company?
Oh, wow, man.
Were you with that company, or where were you?
This is what was happening, man.
Yeah.
I had a business failure trying to sell fish and high-end specialty foods.
My man.
Yeah, I tried. Like I said, I came to America. I was
business. He's a businessman.
I tried. I was working on it. It was just a low point, man. Suffered a really bad training injury as well. Almost lost my toe. Yeah, it was pretty bad. That with the knife fighting course, and my foot there. I showed you the video. Whatever. Anyways.
Lost a toe?
Almost, kind of. A lot of stitches.
Okay.
A lot of stitches, man.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Anyways, so I called you when I was on a break from painting a nursing home's wall. Yeah, that's where I was. I was looking for my next venture.
Yeah.
Literally working in a nursing home, painting the walls, man. Like, doing some general construction work, and I'm really bad at building things, man. Like, I tried. But I'm like, the whole measuring, like the dyslexia and stuff like that, and cutting things, or like when you're painting walls, like the guys were like, man, God bless him, such a hard worker. Like, they kept me on, but like, I knew I was definitely not an asset.
You were like the ugly duckling hanging with those dudes trying to paint walls and stuff.
Completely. So that's where I was at, man, when we started talking. Yeah.
And then you started working in that. So then what happened? Like, how did the evolution of you getting into a security company and ending up being a training director happen?
Yeah. Well, this is what happened. I started doing site work, man. I went to them and I said, I have all this training. I have some of these connections. And I'm willing to work hard. And they took me on part-time at first. And I did one detail, like literally just a site detail for a athlete and the head of security for that company called them up and said, that guy's a rock star. Like, he showed up wearing the right clothes. He was like professional. He didn't ask questions. He didn't hang out by the set food place and eat all the food and stuff like that, like this other guy did. Mm-hmm. And so that was all right. Your first little kudo point, first little brownie point there,
like,
right?
Okay.
Yeah,
see, he's bringing something to the table.
Bringing something. And then I remember I went to Mexico for my 30th birthday this last August, and
I remember that.
Yeah. And I got a message from a LinkedIn recruiter. It was like, here's this job, man. You could probably have it. It was like kind of enough to like provide for my family, like my wife and I, and do well. So you could take this job, man. You could probably have it. But I was like, well, I'm still doing the security thing, man. It's like, do I one or the other? And I said, yeah, it was a big point. Do I want the security right now, or do I want to hang out? Do I want to pursue this lifestyle? Do I want to get into this lifestyle? Do I want to go for it? And I said, fuck it, I'm going to go with it. And I remember there was a detail coming up. It was also an event for Big Pharma, and they needed 2 guys in suits. I remember being in Mexico, buying a suit, having them tailor the suit while I was there to make sure it looked somewhat kind of professional. And I know you gave me a lecture about wearing the right stuff later on, but
but you were getting it done.
This was the infancy days, right?
Yeah. You were making plays.
I was making plays. So yes. I showed up to the place, man, and I had the right suit on. The other guy was wearing black combat boots, a really bad blazer, and like some like black jeans, pretty much.
He needed to take my course is what he needed to do.
He needed to take your course, exactly.
We needed to talk about this before he showed up. Probably a good guy, but yeah.
Well, that guy doesn't work with the company anymore. Yeah. And I'm the director of training now. What I did is I never stopped my continuous education. I took every opportunity I had. And what I did is like, well, I'm really blessed that I'm taking these courses. I'm going to pass that on. Mm-hmm. I went and got my first aid CPR Red Cross instructor course. It's something anybody could do, right? It's like $200. Started making sure everybody was trained in that. My shooting, passed that on. So what I did was I brought something to the table every single day. Whether that's my work, being able to work, being a professional, doing the right thing, being tactically squared away, and making sure that the people around me leave with something. So I continued to do that. And then I got promoted to kind of a field training agent position, continued to pass on the knowledge, and then started to build the relationships in the business end, working with the clients, working with other. I mean, I have a great team. We have former Special Forces Intelligence. We have a former MSOP guy, Air Force Intelligence CEO. Real smart team, and showed that, hey, man, I could intellectually hang with you guys and also work to progress the business and better asset rather than liability.
Well, and these are the social dynamics I talk about, like invest in yourself and contribute to others. Invest in yourself so you have something of value to contribute to others. And when everyone in the room starts to realize you're there to contribute and be an asset, and you can do it from a place of intelligence, they want to bring you into their inner circles. And these are the true tricks about how to gain authority and influence. When the most powerful person in the room is the person that everyone knows has their best interest in mind. If 70% of the people in the room are like, yo, but Richard like looks out for everybody, let's hear what he has to say. Hold on one second. I mean, so this is how you move. You can actually hack the dang whole social game of promotion if you're operating this way. By like you always hear me say it, like, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the baddest. I'm only like 5'10". I'm like 240 pounds. You know what I mean? Like me and you, like we're kind of sexy, but we ain't that sexy. We're really not that sexy. Right. I mean, so you can learn principles of social dynamics that can frickin' change your career if you implement them.
Yeah, that's a psychologist in you, man, and which is a huge asset to your training day success is that you understand the mind and how people think. Like literally, like psych ops, that's what you're running for your people right there. Like that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
So and leaving your ego at the door, man, that's so important.
Yeah, you got to do those jobs. Yeah, man.
You got to have humble pie. You got to eat the humble pie and not say, I just ate the humble pie.
Yeah.
You got to take the humble pie. Yeah. Look, I just did that. I sat out that door, man.
Yo, you guys didn't see that, right?
Yeah, right. No, just eat it.
Well, and the thing with the ego management that's interesting is I feel like you have to walk a line with it because you need to have a healthy enough ego to say, hey, I'm Byron Rodgers. I just showed up here. I'm going to kill this job. I don't care what you pay me. I'm going to kill this job because of who I am. And this is how I get down. Watch and see how we get down here. But then you have to be humble enough to be like, yo, but it's halls and walls. You know what I'm saying? And I got to earn my stripes. And I'm about to stand on these halls and walls like Byron motherfucking Rodgers would stand on these halls and walls. You know what I mean? And you got to do those things. And you got to be like, okay, I'm the new guy on the detail. I'm going to go flip the cars. I'm going to go, work this crappy job and, protect the free shot chick at the party or whatever it is,
Yeah. I mean, on the private side, getting those browning points, making sure the customers get to the cars, helping the lady find her keys, documenting wellly and precisely a service problem at the site that you're at, right? So they could pass that on to their facilities manager and say, this is why I need money to fix this pipe. Oh, it's because of security. You just justified why they're paying you this much. That's super important as well. Yeah. And doing it humbly, doing it like this is my job. You're a customer service agent that's like 10% badass. They could turn it on, but you're really just a customer service person.
And just know that and be cool.
Yes. Know it. And that's honestly rolling back because it went through my brain right now. How I moved up was, we talked about this early on. I had a background in customer service.
Yeah. And this is good.
Yeah. And so when you start working with my company that I work for, you're getting through customer service training. Who's doing that? Like, warm bodies aren't doing that. We're understanding how to deal with customers. I'm working on a cultural awareness program right now, just because, listen, there's some religions where, it's not right to shake the woman's hand. You got to know that sort of stuff.
And you just shot the whole contract in the face because you shook both of their hands.
Exactly.
We were doing good. And then you just happened.
Okay, I made you do. No. So that was really a key, is understanding that dynamics and relationships are key customer service throughout the whole game. That is the game. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Yeah. What would you say about building your personal brand inside of a company or simultaneously with the company?
Yeah. Building your personal brand in a company is just building a brand of excellence, knowing that you're a person that is always reliable, always able to maybe not fix the problem right away, but understand how to and find a way to do that. So for me at first, I was building my brand in and outside of the company, I guess. I was trying to do my own thing and then also working with the company part-time. But then I realized in my area, there isn't a lot of opportunity for independent contractors, right? There isn't a lot of time there just really isn't a strong EP game as solo practitioners. So that transitioned more to working with the company that I work with now and really committing full time to them. Becoming a good representative of the company and a company man is extremely important when you're inside of it, knowing that you're going to wear that Black Wolf shirt, right, with pride, and everybody that sees it is going to look to you as the example of the service that they provide. So really really working with the brand of the company. For me personally,
Yeah.
It's different for you. It's different for everyone. Every game is different, man. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's everyone's answers will be different too. The one will solve the riddle of their life. What do you think there's any advantages you have as that you leverage? Within your personality, have there been any things how do you get ahead, or how would you approach beating out the competition or any other person in your field?
Throttle control. When we're shooting.
Okay.
Yeah. When to turn it up, when to turn it down, precise versus volume, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Right. So looking at the problems we see in front of ourselves, whether it's a problem of details facing or a relationship, and understanding how much energy you're going to be putting into it and the type of energy, right? So are you going to come at this conversation really direct with like knife hands, like this needs to change? Or are you going to, hey, this is an issue we need to address, and these might be some problems. Let's go ahead and do a root of cause analysis of it. So understanding how to, talk through issues and understand how much you're putting into it, up and down, you know, balancing yourself. The kind of energy, you feel me? Like the energy that you're putting out, right? It's not always the same. There's times and places for every conversation, every problem, ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So that's something that because a lot of guys are just like this, and they're going to say that's an issue. You can't pass this line right here, and that's it, right? Well, that's not always the right way to address it. Sometimes it is, but.
So you're talking about being a thinker and social intelligence, really.
Yeah, I am.
You're talking about how to bring it out, how to lay it out.
Yeah, that's so important.
I remember interacting with you. I remember being like, all right, so like, okay, let's see what this guy's kind of about. And I remember being very happy when we were at lunch or dinner or whatever. And I remember being like, he's smart. Like, I was like, okay. And he understands the social dance, and he's tracking with the social dance. And that's when I really felt like, okay, he's going to be fine. Like, that's when I was like, okay, he's going to be fine. He's going to do fine. He's going to be able to do pretty much what he wants. He needs a second. Like, and then that's when I started to be like, I'm going to probably help you more in your presentation and how to sell yourself. Mm-hmm. Maybe show you some tools to focus on. That could help you be more socially potent or effective. I was like, but this dude right here is ridiculously smart enough to pull this off, what he wants in the security industry. And there's just things he doesn't know that I know from experience that I can just give him, and he's going to run with it. And most importantly, you were hungry. And I was like, yo, he's hungry enough to do this. And that's refreshing, because there's so many people whose will is paper thin. They're like, yo, I want to do something. I want to get into the game. I'm like, it's not going to just happen overnight. Like, you got to work at this. You got to find your angles. You got to build up relationships. You know, you might just apply to a big company and you might just get in. That might happen. It can, and it does way more now. But you're going to have to be smart and resourceful, probably. You know, so that's where I always am kind of like, well, let's see if you got what it takes. And I knew you did when we started really being around each other at EPI, which was really positive.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I go everything from when I was in the field, I was working with everything from corporate, corporate directors for commercials, right? Like, or heads of a industrial plant that it's a workplace violence situation. And we have 3 guys there 24 hours a day for 3 months, right? But understanding how I put my energy out and how I was talking to those people was crucial.
It's everything.
It really is. I can't stress that enough.
It is, man.
Well, for lack of a better term, you got to understand how to schmooze. It's so important. I'm like, because that's the way it is in my brain, man. There's all of these ways of this relationship, this and that, and I'm like, no, you got to schmooze. You got to schmooze with people, you know.
As much as it sounds like you don't want, it's not a thing, but it's a thing. You got to understand how to get along with people, man.
Yeah, like 100%. At the Protectors, and when we went to the
Close Protection Conference.
Close Protection Conference, man. Like, I wanted to hang out with you, and everyone else did. Like, you're like the VIP of the conference. Everyone's like pictures with Byron, stuff like that. But I had to schmooze.
Yeah, you had to go play the game, work the room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we didn't even get a picture together because, like, I was like, I can get a picture. Sorry. I know. I'm sorry. Like, but I was like, I had these Israelis over here, and I had contacts, and so how to play that.
No, I love it though, man, and I'm glad you just committed and came and did that. Taking those times to widen that sphere of relationships is huge. It's very important, and those relationships still possibly will bear fruit in the future. You know what I mean? Those cards and those emails and all that stuff, man. So, I want people to understand, like, taking the time to come to these executive protection centric events, your opportunity, the Protector Symposium, exactly. Your ability to widen, manufacture, maintain, procure high quality relationships within your industry, that sphere is where a lot of your opportunity is going to come from. And that's a lot of what I focus on, man, because that's the game, And then you might even have a good job right now. When it's gone, how are you going to find the next one? Have you been playing the relationship game?
Always have a plan to keep going when your first plan falls apart. Ed Caldron said it best. He's like, my world has ended many times in my life. I've always come out like in the better way. It's always got,
Still here.
Yeah. I'm still here. Yeah.
I like
it's important. Yeah. Ed, man, also a former alumni of the Protector Symposium before he blew up as much as he did. That guy, doing one of his courses. Oof.
Yeah, probably a course that may be more dangerous than any other course it took.
Completely.
He's coming back for this next one too. So
Heck yes. That's worth it. That's worth the price just like that.
Right? He's talking about like urban movement and disruption. Anyways, I don't want to go into that rabbit hole. We got to wrap this thing up.
I know.
Honest advice to people who live in areas that don't have a high volume of executive protection activity.
Yeah.
Like, how do you survive in the private security industry?
Definitely. And man, that's a huge question. Like, because like in Oregon, there's like 3 or 4, there's maybe a few details that I know of. And I'm pretty connected to the industry here. There really isn't that many. They're mostly big corporations. And it's about finding the right boutique security company. They're out there. Most of the industry is kind of garbage, to be honest. Like there's a warm part. Be real. There's people that will pay you $15 an hour, take this gun, stand outside this mall, and not train you, make you a liability, right?
Warm body.
Yeah, warm body, man. And so it's about finding the right boutique security company, understanding what you bring to the table and what they bring to the table. Understanding, well, if I join with them, do they have an EP team? All right, maybe if that's something I want to get into, perfect. Do they have private investigations? Maybe I could learn from a private investigator, because that's a huge industry in its own. That's really important. Seeing what they have on the table and how you could contribute to that company as well. Right? Do you have customer service training? Maybe you could start training them in customer service. Maybe you could bring that to the table. Are you a CPR instructor? Do they need that? Look into aspects of the medical field as well, because that's something that's very needed in the EP industries. People want set medics. They want instructors for medical work. So that's also huge as well. So yeah,
awesome.
Getting to know them. Don't jump. Be a little bit precise when it comes to picking a company, because that stays with you if you're in the wrong company.
It does. People are like, oh, you worked for them.
Yeah.
My approach was, I got on with a number of different boutique private security companies, and I would work and pick the contracts, but you got to have your ear to the ground to know which ones are garbage and which ones aren't.
Right.
Or you find out from the inside, but you got options because you're on with a couple of them, and that comes down to marketing and all those different things. So, and then also I think there's something to be said for the executive protection stuff will come, but looking at other types of security, like you were mentioning, the workplace violence, the stuff around the big pharma, just get out there in the private security game and work other stuff and make the relationships for a while.
Completely. I mean, workplace violence, I think, is a $50 billion a year industry. Think about this. Somebody gets fired. They show up the next day, punch the guy in the face. That's $200,000 lawsuit, man.
Yeah.
That companies don't want to pay for that. They also don't want Jumbo Joe from, I don't know who the fuck security company, looking like a fool. They want a concealed.
Combat boots.
Yeah, they don't want that, man. They want somebody that looks professional, that can blend in to that workplace, be concealed. And if there's a problem, take it, put that throttle up. If not, just keep it down. So huge industry, man. Investigations are very big. Private investigations. That is something that happens a lot in this industry that people don't even touch upon.
It's just part of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say your hardest lessons you've learned in the field would be? Hardest lesson you've learned in the field?
Man, do something like EPI or training day before you go out with a celebrity detail. I'm just going to roll back to that, man, where, where my principal is going for a walk out on the main street, and, he said, all right, just hang out. It's fine. People are nice. I'm like, all right, yeah, well, but I'm I'm a protector, right? and I'm like in the bushes a little bit away and following him and everything like that. And then John Musser was like, then we'll go to course next month. Don't be that turkey or that asshole that's hiding in the bushes and following. Yeah. He says he doesn't want to get followed. Just do your damn job. So understanding your post, your job, your detail, and following it to a T and sticking to that, because it's that for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good one. I love it, man. This is why I'd love to get that fresh perspective, man. That's what's up. Proudest moments in the field.
In the field,
or just in your career in the private security game.
Honestly, it's just coming on to Black Wolf, finding
Yeah.
people that were really changing the game and being a leader in the company. Like 1 year ago, man, we were talking. I was in a parking lot, right, on my break outside of a nursing home, and we were like, should I do this? Do I want to go over this game? I'm like, man, dude, like you have all this to risk. I went for it, right? So
Heck yeah.
embracing the journey.
Yes.
Proudest thing I have right now is embracing the journey. And shit, I'm not rolling in a Rolls Royce right now, or buying a bunch of houses or anything like that. But hey, I have a career. I'm supporting myself, my family. We're moving up in the game, chasing the Joneses, and we're doing it my way. We're doing it my way. That's really what I'm proud of.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. At the end of the day, you're not doing something you hate.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And that is worth everything to me, because this is our one life and stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited that you've come so far. I'm excited to have you on the show. I'm excited to be connected with you and contribute, in the ways that I hope that I have, that I know that I have, based on what you've told me. So it's been an honor, man. 100%.
It's been great.
Let's see here. Goals moving forward, and then closing questions.
Okay, cool. Don't forget the quotes, man, because I wrote down my quotes.
Yeah. It's in the closing questions. Okay. I got you, bro.
Just making sure.
You're like, I wrote these down.
I'm doing it advanced, right? For your
on the interview. I get it. I got you. That's what's up. So yeah. Goal for you in the future, bro. What are you looking to get? Where do you want to see your career go?
Yeah, completely. So I'm going to continue with Black Wolf. Right now, we're going to continue to redefine the game in the Pacific Northwest, show that we can be an asset to all the companies and businesses out there, right? We'll be getting into civilian side of training in the near future.
Sweet.
So starting from, I'm actually finishing Yosef Badou's situational awareness instruction course. So I'm going to be putting that out there. Yeah, very, very good. Continue with medical training. Probably going to be getting my EMT when COVID ends as well, just to continue the medical training aspect of things. And then orienting to workplace violence prevention on a corporate side. Wow. So from risk analysis work to evacuation plans, threat SAP plans, that is on the forefront for this myself in the industry right now.
Love it, man. Brainy stuff, smart guy stuff.
That's working on it. It's hard. Like I'm still a knuckle dragger in many ways. Like I really take like extra 10 minutes of meditation before I walk out with it on. Yeah.
I dig it, man. I love that. That's what's up. That sounds awesome. Yeah. And it sounds like a compartment in an area of the industry that's just going to be growing, bro. Yeah. It's just growing. It's just going to grow. That's just mad growth there. Growth potential.
It's so important because, it's such a loss on industry. Like everyone is worried about workplace violence. And, cops can't be there every single day. They're not going to be. So we're going down that route.
I dig it, man. That's what's up. Favorite quote, mantra, saying, what you got? This question. Funny you should ask. Yeah.
So Ed Caldron, all restraints are temporary. And all bleeding ends at some point.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's kind of that memento mori kind of thought to things, going through it. Like this is going to end at some point, right? Either going to die or I'm going to make it. It's one or the other, So that is my my current mantra. I kind of want to get it tattooed, but I plan to go more of Ed's classes. And it's going to be like, how temporary do you want these restraints? Like he's going to see that tattoo, and I'm just going to
he's like, oh, is that a fact?
Oh, is that a fact? Yeah, exactly. So that's it right there.
All restraints are temporary, and all bleeding ends at some point. That's just so dang good, man.
I know.
I'm building that in. I'm absorbing that, bro. I'm getting something out of this. I love it, man.
Yeah.
How would you like to be remembered, brother?
As my brother's keeper. Back to who I am.
Yeah.
I want to be remembered for who I am, and being genuine is an asset. It's a have to. It's a commandment. So just be remembered as my brother's keeper.
Outstanding.
Without any brothers, everyone's like
but with a big family, man. The world.
Yeah.
Habits that you'd want to pass on to the listeners that make you a better person, better protector, or whatever.
Habits, self-improvement every single day, and people in our industry, people beat into like, you got to be 1% better and kill your clone from yesterday every single day. That's true. That is true. But it doesn't have to. Yeah, it is pretty. It's pretty important, right? You don't have to. Everyone does it in different ways, right, man? Like, let's say you're already the most jacked motherfucker in the room, right? So why don't you be a little bit smarter than yesterday, right? Why don't you understand? So yeah, self-improvement every day.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's an intention. It's a focus. Yeah, I mean, like, you might not even achieve it that day, but you tried because it's one of your values. And over time, the accumulation of having that value and trying to live that way, you'll just forget about the competition. You might become the person you were created to be, and that's the stinking game.
Your idols will become your rivals.
There's one way to look at it. And no, I love that. Just that habit, like success is a habit, so I'm glad you mentioned that.
And it's easy to lose that habit, man. It's so easy to play fat kid in the morning. You've mentioned that, but it's the truth.
No, it's so the truth. I got to fight the fat kid every day or I'll become the fat kid, man.
Every day.
It's so real. I'm trying to get this Instagram body. You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to take pictures with my shirt off next year.
I know. And the older you get, the harder it becomes.
It's the jam, man. No, that's true. So where can people find you, man?
Definitely. You could find me on LinkedIn, Richard Stadig. That's Stadig. That's where I do probably most of my business work is on LinkedIn. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's of Palm and Pine. Yeah, I live between the palm trees and the pine trees, Israel and Northwest,
You're a clever dude, bro. Yeah. That's that hipster in you or something, man.
It is. I have a little bit of hipster in me, man.
There's a little bit in there. Yeah.
There is.
It's like some nice shoes and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
What can I do? Really hipster.
Awesome. So yeah, send the links or whatever. I'll make sure they're on our blog article about this interview. Awesome. Hey, man, it's been an honor and a privilege to spend this time with you. Great conversation, great information. This episode's nice and chewy. I can't wait for people to get the feedback on this. And it's just an honor to see what you've become and what you've grown into, man. It's the most rewarding thing in the world, bro. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Shout out to Byron Rodgers for doing this, right? Yeah. So I really, really appreciate it. And I look forward to continuing the relationship. Let's see where we're at let's do a check-in in the year.
We'll see, 100%.
Let's do a course this year together too. I'll see you at SHOT and then I got some ideas.
Yes. Okay, awesome. No, I got some good ideas too. Hopefully the symposium, you'll see me at the symposium as well. But yeah, and if you guys are looking to get sped up on a lot of the things that I was talking and able to help Richard implement and on his journey, join me in this Executive Protection Training Day Success Package. It's online. You'll find all the information at executiveprotectiontrainingday.com. Join the pack. It's more than just a training. It's more like a membership that'll give more back to you over the course of your career than any other training you'll take part in. I guarantee it. So that's what's up. Anyways, Richard, it's been an honor. We'll continue talking, man. Stay safe, strong, and healthy out there, brother.
You too.
All right, you got it. Out.
Awesomeness. Boom.
Yo, if you're a private security professional wanting to take your game to the next level, go to executiveprotectiontrainingday.com to check out my personal success package for private security professionals. Check it out, executiveprotectiontrainingday.com. And remember, y'all, hard skills do save lives, but soft skills get you paid. Boom. Boom. And to support this podcast, go to executiveprotectionlifestyle.com and contribute to our Patreon account. That Patreon account is what helps me make this podcast possible, contributing to this brand, what we're doing here, making it so that I can bring better guests on, making it so that we can plan more events and just expand the contribution to the private security industry and also to making America a safer place. Do whatever you can, contribute whatever you can, because it makes all of these things possible. Thanks for those contributions. Yo, and before we go, I got a shout out to the sponsors, starting out with Primary Weapon Systems, PWS. They truly are the evolution of the rifle. Use Byron for 10% off. Grayman & Company, the most comfortable tactical suits in the game. Use Byron for 10% off with them. Ballistic Theory, you're going to start seeing a lot of stuff with me in Ballistic Theory because they got good ammo for good prices. Use Byron for my discount with those guys as well. Last but not least, Executive Protection Institute. Hey, go check them out and get your executive protection education on. Until the next podcast, this is Byron Rodgers, protector by nature and by trade. Out. Boom.